goes direct on February the 4th in Gemini, and Venus ingresses in Aries on February the 4th. If you guys would like to know how is this going to affect us on the collective level and on a personal level as well, you really need to watch this video. Hello YouTube fam, how are you doing? Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to Athena Virtue's channel. This is Athena and I am your spiritual advisor and your astrologer. So guys, as I mentioned, Venus ingresses in Aries on, and actually I'm recording today's video on the 4th at about 7:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just today, and Venus ingress in Aries, and she's at 0 degree now as we speak. She's still very close to the North Node. The North Node is at 28 degree, and Neptune, which is the higher octave of Venus, is at 28 degree as well. But she's still in very close, like within two orbs. It's still considered as a conjunction, but it's separating. So Venus now in Aries, and Jupiter actually direct in the sign of Gemini, and Jupiter will remain direct in Gemini until it enters Cancer on June the 9th. Venus in Aries is in the opposite sign that she rules. Venus is the ruler of Libra, and she's in detriment in Aries. What does that mean? This means technically is she's in the opposite sign that she rules, which means she's gonna have difficulties how she functions, because think about it in a sense that when you move to a country or a culture, different culture than yours, then you're going to be having some difficulty. You're going to feel that you are rejected. So that's how Venus feels. Venus, she doesn't feel comfortable in the sign of Aries, but in order for her to function, probably she needs to embody the ruler of this sign, which is Mars. So Venus actually in the sign of Aries embodies Mars traits and characteristics in order that she delivers her message. And what are Mars characteristics? Mars is the sign of the fighter, is the warrior, is feisty. Mars is impulsive, hasty. Mars is action-oriented, takes initiative, and Mars is all about me, and what makes me happy, right? So Venus needs to embody all these characteristics in order for her to do what she wanted to do. So we will see during this time that Venus is being very feisty, forceful. She would fight to get her message out, and for whatever she want to talk about. Venus here in the sign of Aries is feisty fighter who wants to forcefully implement certain things that she wanted in a bold and funny way at times as well. She is going to take the initiative. She's going to be bold and courageous. She's going to be assertive, aggressive. She's going to be direct. She's going to take the initiative. She's very independent. She wants to achieve something, and she's going to do it no matter what. Venus in the sign of Aries, she's all about me, what makes me happy, and if you don't like it, then you can F off. That's technically what Venus is. So you really need to watch out for this. Venus obviously is a feminine energy, so we'll see lots of feminists during this time, or people calling for feminism and calling for women's rights, and we're going to see lots of cultural trends. And also because Venus is about fashion, style, and physical appearance, we're going to also see lots of new fashion trends and it could be even in a weird way, like something that we're not going to be accept as a society. During this time, we're going to see lots of feminine or female political figures that they're going to take the initiative and take charge, and they're going to become in the position, or they're going to hold position of power. Those female political figures that they're going to be in the position of power, they're going to be very prominent, and they're going to advance and grow, and they will have a huge impact on the world. Example of those female political figures, Pam Bondi, who's going to be the Attorney General of USA, and Tulsi Gabbard, who's going to be the Director of National Intelligence. These were nominated by President Trump, and we will see how these political figures going to have a great impact on the world and on the national level as well. remember that Venus entered the reset degree, the 0 degree, which is Aries degree. This is a very critical and this is an erratic and a very critical degree. This is starting from 0 technically. Something new is going to start, something new is going to evolve to the world, new decisions, new trade rules and regulations, new rules related to economy, new agreement, new orders, everything going to be new. It's a reset degree. This is also related to world trade, resources, and how we envision women in general. And because Venus is a feminine energy, we will see lots of female, as I mentioned earlier, female figures that they're gonna take charge and take the initiative to implement these new orders. And what we've been seeing women before, women now gonna be in the position of power. Women gonna have a great impact on the society and on the world in general. I see also law and order to regain what was lost once, because remember, Mars, the ruler of this sign, is still in Cancer, the house of the homeland, the house of the roots, the house of the country, of the people, the house of the mother, the house of how I protect my family, how I protect my house, how I take care of my family and my people and my homeland. So any initiative, any orders or laws during this time, it's going to be primarily to take care of the homeland, basically placing the home or the land or the country first. My country first, and before anybody else or before any other country. That's all under the sign of Mars, or under the sign of Aries, because once again, Aries is all about me, and what I care about, that's good for my higher good, and that's good for myself. Venus journey in Aries is going to be Venus journey in Aries she's not going to pass 10 degree and 50 minutes. And at the end of the month, actually on March the 1st, she's going to station retrograde, and she's going to keep retrograding into the sign of Pisces. So all throughout the month of February and March, she's not going to form any kind of square with Mars, because Mars, or the day that she's going to station retrograde on March the 1st at 10 degree and 50 minutes, at that time Mars is going to be 17 degree and 13 minutes in Cancer. So and it's going to be separating, so there isn't going to be any actual square technically. So during the month of February and the month of March, we will see sextile between Venus and Jupiter, because Jupiter is very slower than Venus obviously, and Jupiter is at 11 degree and is forward, and Venus at the end of the month, she's going to reach at 10 degree 50 minutes, so she's going to form sextile with Jupiter. And as we know, both Venus and Jupiter have similar energy. They are benefic planets, and they're related to values and expansion and wealth and prosperity. So this is going to be a very prosperous time on all levels. We're going to see increase, I would say, in the stock market. I see the stock market going to go up, but be careful, because Venus around for the last 7 days of February, she's going to be in a shadow period, or the pre-retrograde period. So be careful of any impulsive behavior or any impulsive decisions related to finances, or related to stock market, or impulsive purchases, or buying something expensive, or even doing anything related to the head or the face, because the sign of Aries is rules the face and rules the head. So try to avoid doing any cosmetic procedure. I mentioned that before, I'm going to say it again, because it's going to go wrong and you're going to regret it. Now also, don't get too impulsive and purchase something expensive like a house, or especially during the retrograde period. Now I know lots of astrologers, they say the retrograde period, it's started now. To me, I don't really believe in that. I am a believer of the retrograde period retrograde is going to be like 7 to 10 days before the actual retrograde, before the sign or the planet actually station retrograde in a sign. So I'm warning you and to be careful not to do anything during the last 10 days of February related to finances, or related to purchases, or related to purchasing something expensive, or even changing jobs, or if you need to change your job, then you have to do it, right? But you might gonna change your mind, you never know. But be careful, try not to initiate something new related to physical appearance, or related to expensive purchases. Now also remember that Venus in Aries, once again, she embodies Mars characteristics, so be careful of making or getting into any relationship based off physical attraction or chemistry, because that's what Venus is bold. Venus will actually take the initiative to express her feelings during this time. So this is not necessarily about feminine energy, it could be masculine as well, but just be careful, don't take impulsive decisions, okay, or make impulsive decisions related to a romantic relationship, or maybe even for some of you, I see maybe involvement in a relationship with a partner, like a business partner, or with your boss or something like this. Be careful, like even sometimes because Mars is all about rules the adrenaline, and Venus at this time, she's taking all Mars traits, so she's going to be very excited. She's going to be once again bold and take the initiative, express her feelings, and there are going to be lots of also social gathering and partying, so be careful around this time, because I see some of you are going to be probably involved in a one-night stand kind of relationship, or they're going to be very passionate, about different interactions or relationship, because the energy of Venus around this time is to pursue and chase and take the initiative and get into physical, passionate interaction and impulsive and hasty behavior. But after that, once she go forward, this kind of relationship is gonna fade out and it's gonna end. So it's up to you if you want to do it, but that's the energy, because Venus around this time, she wanted to be, she feels very excited. So the energy around this time, you feel like you're being stimulated, you're very excited, you feel like you are very bold, and you want to take any kind of risk, and you don't really think about the consequence. I also see financial patterns and decisions that were not thought of probably, and then they're gonna lead to some losses. So be careful of that as well, especially once again the 7 to 10 days before the end of February. Now Jupiter and Gemini, as I said, on February the 4th, and as you see in the sign here, is at 11 degrees and 16 minutes and is trining with the Sun in Aquarius, and also trining Mercury in Aquarius. The Sun is at 15 degrees 49 minutes and Mercury is at 12 degrees and 7 minutes. So this tells me there are going to be once again lots of agreements on a global level, executive orders or decisions or collaboration, and there are going to be lots of revelation because the Sun sheds the light on anything that was hidden and that was secretive. There are going to be lots of revelation of information that we were not aware of, and there are going to be lots of data put out in the public on social media as well. We're going to see all of this on social media. Anything that was before was any deception or gossip or any false information is going to be revealed. It's going to be put out to the public. And this actually going to expose even some could be financial institutions or some government agencies that were involved in kind of scams or kind of money laundering, like what we see now in the States about USAID and other government figures who were involved in this kind of money laundering. There will be also new laws and orders related to immigration and some minority groups. There are also lots of regulations related to travel and travel documents. I see also collaboration and communication between leaders and political figures related to borders or related to immigration, related to travel and travel documentation and world trade and related to economy as well. So that's what I have for you about Jupiter and Gemini direct. But remember, on June the 9th, Jupiter is going to enter the sign of Cancer, and this is going to affect Cancer and the water signs, and it's going to be in Cancer for about 13 months. And just a reminder that Canada and USA both are Cancer signs, but Canada, I'm not sure about USA rising sign, I can't remember, but I know Canada is Aries rising, and I believe Moon is in Aries as well, or maybe Sagittarius, I can't remember exactly, but I know Canada is Aries rising. Canada is July 1st, and USA Day is July the 4th, based on the Declaration of Independence. But what I see specifically for Canada, and I'm gonna make a video about Canada natal chart, but what I see for Canada, because we will have a solar eclipse, new moon solar eclipse, actually at the end of March, and around that time, Venus still retrograde, because I believe she's gonna go direct on April the 12th. But we will have Mercury retrograde as well, and because it's Aries and new moon solar eclipse, around that time I see could be revolutionary actions or some kind of activities related to new start, new beginning in the country. And I'm going to do a reading for Canada, but we are going to have a new moon solar eclipse at the end of March in the sign of Aries. So I see some sort of political activities around this time. So I'm going to leave it at that for now, and I'm going to speak further about it. But I suspect I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a huge change in our political parties. I've predicted that before, and I'm going to say it again. I see the fall of the Liberal Party. I see some sort of major change in the political party in Canada. I see the uprising of the Canadians. I'm going to leave it at that, as I said, and now let's go to the water signs and the February astrology for the water signs. I'm gonna start with Cancer, obviously. Cancer, Jupiter is in your 12th house in Gemini, and Venus just entered your 10th house, Aries, and she's gonna be in Aries for a while, and then she's gonna go back into your 9th house. So what does that mean for you, Cancer? Cancer, obviously your 12th house is the house of the guardian angels, and Jupiter there is forming a beautiful protection for Cancerians. Now, during Jupiter retrograde, we've noticed, and lots of Cancerians maybe experienced or dealt with hidden enemies and dealt with, some subconscious matters and issues probably related to, past life trauma or childhood trauma or childhood hurts or pain. I'm pretty sure you've dealt with enemies. So what I want to say is now Jupiter is direct, and even when you're in Jupiter retrograde, you're protected, Cancer. But now Jupiter direct, there is some sort of for some of you, maybe you're not aware, there's angelic protection. It could be from your ancestors who crossed over, it could be from your spirit guides, but it could be also actually a human being, actually, and person who's protecting you, who's watching you, who's speaking well about you, who's saying nice things about you. without your knowledge. You don't even know about it. And I've mentioned that long ago when I did Jupiter and Gemini reading. Jupiter also is the ruler of Sagittarius, which is your 6th house. And Jupiter is also the ruler of your 9th house, which is related to legal matters. So, and I mentioned that multiple times, Cancer. So if you have any legal matter or any issue related to your, travel, or something related to your health, or something related to your daily routine and schedule, or your pets, or something related to your to seeking, for instance, higher education, now Jupiter is giving you the green light to go ahead and do it, because it's forward. You're going to get the support, you're going to get the protection. Now remember, also Saturn in your 9th house, and Saturn, as I mentioned before, resembles, Saturn is the lord of karma. Saturn, as I said, resembles the legal or the judge. So any legal matters or legal issues, it's going to be to your favor 100%. Especially if it's related to money owed to you, or something related to shared resources, or some sort of issues related to dealing with co-workers, or related to your job. So I wanna just give you reassurance that everything gonna go to your favor. Now remember that the 9th house also related to government, or related to travel documentation. So if you are planning to renew any or to apply for a visa, or apply for or renew your passport, just like in my case, my passport's gonna expire in a few months, so I need to renew actually my passport during this time before Venus goes retrograde. But anyways, so anything related to government documentation, you can go ahead and start do it right now before Venus goes retrograde at the end of February. Now also, because Venus is just entered your 10th house, the house of your public image, the house of your persona, your your career, your status in your career, your reputation, and even if you're not working, let's say you're a parent, or even your reputation or your status in the community, in the society, in the neighborhood, that's all gonna be now attractive. You're gonna attract people to you, because Venus sitting in this house. Now Venus gonna bring some opportunities for you related to a job, or related to progress in your job. So if you are trying to ask for promotion, you can do it now. Now once again, I'm not a believer that Venus in the shadow at this time. I don't believe that. I believe Venus is gonna be retrograde about 10. Venus gonna enter the shadow period about 10 days at the end, before she stations retrograde on March the 1st. So for the time being, you can go ahead and start and ask for that promotion, ask for increase in income, or if you're planning to change job, or look for something better, or start a new venture, or start a new project, you can, by all means, you can do it now. You have the first 20 days of February, you can do whatever you want, but the last 10 days, be careful, because that's when the shadow period starts. Okay, now also, because Venus is in your 10th house, the house of your status and your reputation, be careful. There could be a potential relationship with your business partner, or some sort of relationship with higher up at your work. Just be careful, especially during the retrograde period, because you might change your mind, or there could be some impulsive decision or impulsive behavior around that time, because Venus, once again, she's very passionate. She's very attractive, basically. So you're going to attract people to you. You're going to attract you're going to be kind of in the spotlight, really. So be careful. Try to avoid any impulsive or hasty, as I mentioned earlier, some sort of one night stand. Okay, because you're going to be changing your mind, because you feel the excitement, you feel very stimulated. You technically embodying Mars energy. Okay, so not you, but Venus. Venus embodies Mars energies, and you're gonna feel it around your 10th house. Now, I also see that there's going to be a prominent female figure in the society, or it could be in the neighborhood, it could be at your work, that she's going to be of a great support for you as well. Now, regardless of your gender, this could be for you. If you are feminine, or if you are a female, you're going to be the one who's going to provide that support to others. Now, also because Jupiter is the ruler of your 9th house, is in your 12th house, I see people, foreigners or from foreign lands, going to be attracted to you, or is going to be communicating with you. There could be also a potential of a relationship on social media, or some sort of platform. Yeah, I see something along those lines going to happen with you, Cancer. So I mean, you can, by all means, that's not a problem, but I am just I would be careful around the during the retrograde period, because once again, and not only that, Venus retrograde in your 10th house, that gonna probably bring people from the past. It could be business partners from the past, or some sort of old communication you've had with some sort of business, related to business, or related to business, could be revisited around this time as well. Now, not only that, Venus not only rules physical appearance, but rules financial sector as well, and rules your wealth. So now, by all means, you can purchase stocks, you can invest in the stock market, or gold or silver or whatever around this time. But when Venus retrograde, be careful. Once again, don't try to purchase something expensive, because you're going to change your mind. Don't and there could be volatility in the stock market around the Venus retrograde. So it's okay, that's expected, but just try not to spend lots of money around this time. Also, if you're planning to purchase a house or a car, avoid this time, because I see, the 9th house is related to travel, because Jupiter is the ruler of your 9th house, although Jupiter is forward. But just try the time that Venus retrograde, okay, because it's all related to one another. Venus is in your 10th, and she's going to retrograde back in your 9th. So anything related to travel, transportation, long distance travel, or, as I mentioned earlier, government documents, or travel documentation, don't do it during Venus retrograde. Do it now, before she enters the shadow period. Now, when Venus retrograde back in Pisces, which is your 9th house, Cancer, there could be some sort of connection you've had in the past with a foreigner, or somebody on from a foreign land, not necessarily foreigner, but they could reappear in your life and reconnect with you again. So I don't want to say be careful every second. Try to go with the flow, just not to be impulsive in any decision you make. Like, you would think, okay, now this person is connecting with me again, I'm gonna travel to see them during the retrograde. Don't do that. Okay, Cancer. Just take a precaution, and don't get involved in any romantic impulsive decisions. Don't get involved in any impulsive decisions related to romance, or physical interaction during Venus retrograde. That's the only thing I can tell you, Cancer, okay? Now, also, Cancer, because Mars is still retrograde in your sign, Mars is going direct on February the 23rd. So there could be some issues related to family matter, or some energies around you that is very manipulative, narcissistic personality. I would suggest that to take precaution also, especially if I see it mostly related to a family member. It could be a partner, or it could be a sibling, or it could be anybody in your family, or it could be even the neighborhood. But I see it very close to you, so be careful and try to set boundaries and try to not to get involved or engaged in any kind of arguments or fights. I mean, Mars retrograde in your sign, you are being patient, you are not being impulsive, but you need to let it out, you need to vent it out. You can't just keep it inside you, because Mars retrograde is kind of like keeping everything internal and being very introvert. So try to speak to somebody about the issues that you encounter on your personal level. Don't keep it bothering you, or try to avoid any toxic relationship, or in any interaction with toxic people around this time. Until Mars goes direct, that's when you're gonna have the energy to speak up and to fight the fight, basically to walk the talk and to take decisions. But around this time, I recommend not to keep it inside you. Okay, try to speak to somebody about the issues that you encounter. Now also remember, Cancer, we just have the new moon in Aquarius, which is in your 8th house. So I see for some of you there could be some issues related to shared resources, or maybe an inheritance that was on hold, that wasn't released to you, or money owed to you. So what I suggest that, Cancer, now just remember that we're gonna have full moon in Leo on February the 12th, and you have to understand, in order to initiate something new, because the 8th house is also related to so the new moon in Aquarius in the 8th house is related for you, Cancer, is also related to deep communication, or could be deep relationship. It could be just started, or you see something just started. So but you have to remember that we will have full moon in Leo, which is going to be your 2nd house. Now I know lots of people, they think that the full moon in Leo means only something expensive, or you're going to be hit with expense, or sudden expense, or something along those lines. But you have to remember also, the Leo is not only about tangible values, or money. It's also about intangible, about your self-worth and self-value. So now the full moon is about the culmination of something started 6 months ago, when we've had a new moon in Leo, which is once again your 2nd house, the house of your money, your resources, or the money coming from your job, your career, or your values, or your self-value. So what I want to say is, if during the 6 months you've been trying to do something related to your values, or to increase your value, or increase your income, or something along this line, didn't happen, it could happen. It could be very much happening now during the full moon in Leo. And Leo and Aquarius are opposite signs. So in order to initiate something new and start something new related to your 8th house, which is shared resources, you have to close the door on something related to your 2nd house. Okay, so what that means, it means there could be something ending in related to your 2nd house, related to something old, something that is not serving you anymore, in order for something new to start or reborn in your 8th house. It could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be something of value that you need to get rid of, okay, and you need to leave it in the past so you can start something new. And with Venus in your 10th house, and on the 12th, once again, Leo, we're gonna have full moon in Leo. That could be for lots of you, Cancerian, literally starting new jobs, starting new projects, for some of you, starting your own business, and for others, I see once again that money owed to you is going to come back. Now, because in this video I'm not going to do a tarot reading, but I'm going to pull a couple of cards for you, Cancer, just to see the energy based on the this Venus enters into Aries and Jupiter direct. Now, because I'm not going to do a full tarot reading in this video, I'm probably going to do a separate one, and in a separate video I'm going to do a tarot reading. So I'm just going to pull a few cards for you, Cancer, based off the Venus enters Aries and Jupiter direct in Gemini. Also the new moon because we're still in the new moon in Aquarius energy right now. Ooh, wow. Cancer, so you got the magician right away, Cancer, as you see, and ooh, two of air. So that tells me that you've been indecisive about something. You've been trying to come up with a decision, which way you're going to take, what you're going to do. But I see, as you got the magician, that you're manifesting something new, and you have all the tools that it's going to help you, and it's going to be at your disposal to manifest something new in your life. And I see it happening for you, Cancer. I'm just going to pull a love oracle card for you from the Whispers of Love. Receive with love and appreciation. Receive with love and appreciation. Gracious acceptance is a way to show love. Gracious acceptance is a way to show love. This is a very beautiful message for you, Cancer. So Cancer, I wish you a happy February, and I'll see you on the next one.